Greetings, everyone. This is Asin. I'm here on the way of Dharma. I'm here with my friend Efe. Today, we are discussing spiritual manifestations and how spirits unto us. Also, the results of practicing magic and how results manifest. Please introduce yourself to the channel, Efe.
Okay, thank you very much once again. My name is still remains Ife West. I'm originally from Nigeria, but currently based in Cape Verde. And I teach and practice ancient African history and spirituality. And I'm very happy to be here today. It's a wonderful honor.
Perfect. Can you hear yourself talking over the mic
I
or?
can hear you very well. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I'm asking you, can you say something so that I can see if it's capturing what you are saying through the speakers? If you hear
Okay.
if you hear an echo, tell me so that I can lower the volume.
No, everything is fine. I can hear you clear. As you're speaking to me like face to face. I can actually hear you. I think the equipment is working well.
Okay, perfect. Everyone, please before we continue, please like, subscribe, and share the content that we'll be sharing on this channel. So I have a few questions that I want to discuss with you in regards to magic. And some of them I've compiled them from our previous interview, the very first one, and I'll also be mixing upon what I've heard you talk about on the previous two previous videos, which is what the Necronomicon and the other ritual. So
Okay, thank you.
yes, the first
So
question: have you worked with the Necronomicon?
yes, I have. Actually, it is one of the first grimoires I got my hands on, or rather, I was introduced to when I started my sojourn into Western occultism. The Necronomicon is a very popular grimoire in the Western world. So quite naturally, I was introduced to it, and I got to make use of the book. I was able to make contact with about two deities in the book from the by using their CJs. I think it's a very good book, but
Okay.
in my opinion, not everything in the book may be according to the original uh, way it was supposed to have been written, due to the fact that the book have been translated so many times. It was first written in the 1700s by the so-called Mad Arab Abu Haza. Then
Yes.
later on, it mysteriously disappeared, and the book appeared 200 years later, was translated into Greek, then from Greek into Latin, and from Latin into English. And later on, H.P. Lovecraft got hold of the book and had to rewrite the book again with his own opinions and his own worldview. So I believe the book might have been uh, seriously contaminated with different views or mindsets of the people that have been translating it over time. So that is my view. Apart from that, I think it's still a workable grimoire that people can use. Can also, I believe there are many powerful spirits behind the book as well, but they may have been distorted over time.
Okay, perfecto. I've noticed something, a very strange thing. H.P. Lovecraft, when he talks about the spirits like Cthulhu, Yog-Sothoth, and Azathoth, those guys are very different spirits as opposed to those that are in the Necronomicon. In the Necronomicon, you find spirits like Marduk, Tiamat, Ziku, and all those other spirits. Are they related or are they the same energy
For
with
my
the ones that
opinion,
Lovecraft mentions? Yes.
yes, what I see is that Lovecraft took, if you can trace the origin of Cthulhu and Cthulhu, Azog, Yog, Sogoroth, and Azathoth. Yog-Sotho and Azathoth, two of the deities. There's another one they call Nyarlathotep. They can be traced back to ancient Egypt. So I believe it took some ancient Egyptian myths. These are supposed to be some of the baddest or darkest deities that you will find in ancient Egypt. He took some from them. Then he also took from Samaria and he added them together to create the tales and the stories he was writing about. So it was a combination of deities from two cultures, presumably. Right? That is what I think he did. So sometimes you can actually, hello, are you there? You can see me?
Yes, now I can. Now I can.
Well, I cannot see you now, but maybe, okay, now I can see you now. So we are back and live. So you can start again.
So do I start at the very beginning or where we left off?
Okay, just start with the question.
Okay, perfect. So yes, you were saying that he took different deities from the Egyptian pantheon and those dark deities, right? So, but
From
then,
Samaria. Yes, that is what it is.
but then, don't you think that it causes a confusion among the occult community because you are mixing up things? How can you mix? Okay, I do know that the Sumerian and the Egyptian deities have the similarity because the Sumerian pantheon comes from the Egyptian pantheon, right? But then
Exactly.
when you take dark deities from the Egyptian pantheon and then trying to reconcile them with spirits like Madak and Ziku and those other spirits, do you think it becomes a really good way to practice magic?
Well, some people kind of call it syncretism in a certain way, whereby they believe that there's a system in order to give more power to your magic or spirituality. You can summon deities from various cultures and various spiritual systems together and put them on a task. Some people think it might be possible. Some people don't believe it is possible, but there might be some conflicts to that, and there might also be some serious benefits as well, in the sense that if the spirits you are summoning together, maybe you're taking deity from Egyptian and Sumerian culture, then invoking both of them on attacks. If their energetic vibration are not aligned with each other, what we have is a kind of confusion, and it will be the impact will be negative or be disastrous. But if they have the same goal, the same vibration, the same similarities, then I think they are going to work well together. In order for you to do this, you need to really have a good understanding of the characteristics, the elemental properties of the deities that you are trying to group together. Some people might know this, the differences, some people might not know, or some others might just want to experiment to see what happens. So for me, in my own opinion, I see some people do some form of mixing. There we mix African spirituality with Western occultism. There's a lot of mixtures there. We have seen this kind of things happen. Sometimes it goes very well, sometimes it can go wrong. But if you try it and it works, then I don't see any reason why you should not do it.
Okay, another thing that I wanted to ask, they say that in the presence of Cthulhu, the Oxforth, you get certain reactions. You get sick, you get ill. Sometimes you do have headaches and stuff. Does it actually mean that it literally happens to you when you encounter such things?
Well, in my own experience, I have never summoned Cthulhu. I have never had need to summon him.
Okay.
So I don't know what I want to call him for. Because in my own opinion, the image of Cthulhu, or the kind of how will I say, the description that they have given to him, I think as a very bad, idiot, terrible monster that all it's all about destruction. I think that is very, very wrong. That is a wrong description. When I try to uh, relax to shine and try to meditate on this daily Cthulhu, I could not have that kind of feeling about him. I think he has been highly exaggerated in a negative way. So, in my own opinion, Cthulhu can be actually an African deity that you know, we have a lot of masquerades in Africa. It can be one of those over 1,000 masquerades that have been blown out of proportion by the imaginations of some people that are looking for something to scare them. Maybe some of this Abu has this mad Arab guy may have had contact with ancient African deities or African masquerade. He might have visited a ceremony like that, seen something, and he may have some contact or may have been spoken to or contacted by those spirits, and he just blew their description out of proportion. Maybe he was highly fascinated by what he saw, then he blew it out of proportion. Even the so-called Lovecraft guy, he was a person that was being controlled by fear. He suffered from a kind of disease called agoraphobia, fear of almost everything. So I believe his description have been exaggerated, that there's no such thing like that creature that have tentacles with the head of an elephant. If you look at Cthulhu in a way, somebody have looked at the Indian god Ganesha.
Okay,
You know Ganesha, Indian god of prosperity, the one that controls the root chakra, is my friend. You can see the elephant face of Ganesha with this. Somebody have looked at this image and bring another image and twisted his imagination and add wings to create what we call Cthulhu today. So Cthulhu that they are is just a parliament of imaginations of some people. I will not say it's not a real deity. It's something that was concocted over time by the mind of twisted mind of people that we love to see that happen. So I don't feel any danger or any fear from the thing. It is just a parliament of people's imagination, just like the way Jesus Christ was a parliament of somebody's imagination, and now half of the world is worshiping him as a real deity. So I don't see that. And in my own research, the whole philosophy of this Lovecraft, the Cthulhu mythos of the great old ones that have been asleep for a long time, that are planning to come back to the earth. It is like an allegory to describe the state of the world, of how the ancient Africans are falling into slumber and have fell out of their place of the root race of the world, and how one day they will wake up and come back to their former glory. That is what I see with that story. So the story does not scare me. It is just like a revolution, a way. The old Necronomicon is a revolution of what will happen in the future. So the people that are trying to twist it out of proportion, that the great destruction is coming, all these demons are so evil, they are this, they are that, they are, oh God. If you read the book and you don't have a strong stomach, it will scare the shit out of you.
Definitely it will.
Yes.
And
so that is why I see these deities. As at all, you can trace him to Thoth, Anubis in ancient Egypt. Maybe some foreigners came and they tried some areas where they got in touch with the ancient Egyptians. They decided to give Anubis their own name. So I didn't really see any threats from these spirits, the way people are parading them, that they are bad deities, that they are all about evil stuff. I didn't get that from them. People twisted mentality have tried to give them a bad name. So I don't feel any fear. It's for me, just a book of revolution that have been kind of mistranslated and distorted. That is what I get from the Necronomicon.
Okay, now for the second question. In our first video, you mentioned something about spirits not manifesting in those grotesque and imaginative ways. Have you had the spirits of the Necronomicon manifest unto you, or rather, should I be specific, the spirits from the Sumerian pantheon. Have you had them manifest and appear to you? Not during times of evocation, of course, but during times maybe dreams or meditation.
In my own situation, the Sumerian spirits, I don't really summon them. I don't summon because I have a lot of spirits in the African pantheon that I have not even talked to yet. So for me to be going to Sumerian, maybe just about 2 or 3 I have gotten in contact with. The way I do my own summoning and from my own experience with invocation and evocation of spirits,
Okay.
my experience, what I have observed is totally contrary to the narratives that we have in the occult community, whereby they will claim to draw a circle, then they will also draw a triangle or circle of manifestation for the spirits, then they will prepare incense and everything and the CJ, then the spirit is going to come in physical form or sometimes in smoke and manifest in that circle. The way they write in most of their grimoires, I tried that, it did not work for me.
It doesn't work.
So you tried it too, right?
Yes.
So for a long time, I practiced that, I do this, I call the spirit, nothing happens. So for a long time, I was thinking that maybe I am the problem, I am not advanced enough. That is why I'm not getting the result that, this really plagued me. So for like years, almost 3 years, I was thinking that I'm not advancing enough.
Oh.
That is why I cannot get it. And you see these so-called Western occultists, all of them, almost 90% of them are fake. They'll be bragging. They're always talking that this is what happened. If they do it, you get it like this. And they keep on validating the story of each other. So what I have come to realize over the years that these people, they are like a group of scammers that then maybe they have known each other for a long time, a group of friends that have known each other. Now they have grown up or they have separated, they are living in different countries. They came up with this idea that we are going to pull this story, I'll be America, somebody in the UK will validate the same story, somebody in a country in Europe will validate the same story. So when you see that, you think that they don't know each other before, talking the same thing. But the thing is not real, it's fake. You cannot get any spirit to manifest like that. In my own experience, when I do the invocations, I don't even go through most of the method. I just meditate on the name and get some properties of maybe article or items of the spirit that I go into meditation. My own manifestation, I see it inside me. I never see any spirit. I never see any spirit physically manifest the way they say it, even in small. Once I close my eyes, I get everything that comes from inside me, not outside. That is the way it happens for me. And it happens very fast. If you are not sensitive, you will not even notice it. So for a long time, when I was doing all those manifestations, I don't even know that the spirit has even come, they have left, I am still waiting for them to appear. You see where these people get up. You are looking for something big, whereas the thing have already happened, and you don't even know when it happened. You see how these people are deceiving us. So when I come to discover that these people, they are all liars, it was very, very painful, but I wasted years to discover this fact. So most times I get in touch with deities without even summoning them, just by thinking about them, focusing on them. And when I go into meditation, it comes very fast. I get the revolution very, very fast, within the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Definitely.
And the communication is really short. You just get a message, you just drop on it, and then just go so that you can have time to do other things in real life. That is my own experience with these spirits that I work with. If they want to tell you something, they don't waste time. So immediately I just close my eyes. Within the first 2-3 minutes, I get the message. All the other time is just for me relaxing or doing other things. So that is my own experience. So I've never seen a physical manifestation for these people. So I think many of them are lying, to be honest. Or if they will say that it's working for them like that, then maybe black people and white people see things different way. Because for me, it is my own system is different. I have tried this thing many times. Sometimes I go into heavy invocation stuff. I will start getting the feeling movements from within. It always comes from within. Yes. Then sometimes I try to do, there's one system I used to do. I meditate for a long, very long time, maybe within 1 hour, 2 hours inside the circle that I sleep. Although nothing will happen during that time. But when you fall asleep in the dream, something will happen. That is another way, again, I know of contacting. If you maybe you are not sensitive enough, you might go into long meditation, maybe like 2 hours, 1 hour. Then when you get, until you get totally tired, the scientific explanation, you get to a state whereby you want to go to sleep, in between sleep and awake. During that time, you get to a place they call like, how will I say? I call it the midpoints between our reality and the dream world. That is the place where the veil will be open, whereby you can be able to get transmission from the other side. So if you practice this kind of thing, you can be able to make contact with spirits as well. So that is the way my own contacts happen for me. Then I have also seen cases of sometimes unexplained activities, what you might call protegized activity. Something can move on its own. I have experienced that. I have seen some creatures that have disappeared, appear and disappeared, but it's not of my own doing. Then sometimes I've heard voices as well.
Okay.
So that is the way it works for me. But this story of a physical manifestation of deity, then you should be talking to the spirit, having a conversation, I have never gotten that. So these people, I don't know how they do that. My own experience is different. Sometimes you don't even have that. If I contact a thing or I make a request, then I just assume that everything happens and I go. If it happens exactly the way I said it, I made it, then I give thanks to the deity that it has come through. If it didn't happen, I will take it like the deity did not respond. Or it can happen in another way that not exactly the way I expected. So that is the way it works for me. That is my own experience.
What do I want to ask? Oh, so I want to tell the viewers that, so whatever that you have heard about evocation and all those crazy stuff, it's just some other occultists trying to in a way trying to sound like they are more powerful than the ordinary
That,
human.
exactly. That is what I see. They want to let you know that they are more superior. They are at a higher level, whereas they are just lying.
Yes, definitely. It's
And they
also
want to put themselves in a pedestal, and they want to deceive people, to scam people, so that you will think that you will come to them that, oh, you have a higher, this person have more power than me, so yeah, I can go to meet him to do something for me, and then they sell a piece of paper for you for $1,000.
so I've also experienced that whenever I communicate with spirits, sometimes they don't even appear like in my inner eye. They don't even appear at all. I just get connected to a flow of ideas, a different
Exactly.
form of energy. And sometimes I start to practice different things. Sometimes I have intuition to maybe try this out, try that out, and do this.
Exactly. Yes. They give
That's
you points.
exactly.
And sometimes what I've also noticed is that they also send people to talk to you. Especially if you work with African ancestors, they use human beings a lot and use your situations to also push you in the right direction. So
That's
when you're looking for something or you are in a certain situation, you should be very sensitive to people that will come to you, people that will tell you what to do. Most times, this suggestion does not really cost you much, doesn't cost you money or anything. But you always see people that will come to help you, to push you forward, to give you that thing that you need, or to put you in the right direction, to bring you closer to what you are looking for. So
it.
they use humans a lot to talk to you in real world.
Mm.
They use a lot of people to talk to you. So that is what I have discovered when working with the spirits. You will be very sensitive. They send people to your life. And when this kind of situations happens, it kind of fits like the way a hands fits a glove. Everything just work in harmony together to bring the results to fusion. Especially if you are working in line with the spirits, everything always come together for your benefit and come together for the greater good. So it's a total harmony and that feeling of love when you're in the flow, everything is working for you. You will know when you get there. You will be living a life of fulfillment, a life of peace, a life of progress, not a life of chaos or anxiety or anxiety. You will not be living like that. So that is the way spirits talk to people. So for those other people that were claiming, we have some occult leaders who were claiming that some grand demons we are washing plate for them. They are on shoulder peer level with the higher echelons of hell. These people, you will see them, they're making this claim. In physical life, they don't have anything.
Definitely.
Nothing is working. How can you be working with the highest level of demons and then you are living a life of poverty, a life of emptiness, a life of total chaos, a life that is out of control? Does it make sense?
No, it doesn't.
You see this kind of thing. They are just lying. They are lying.
So now I want to
Suicide.
ask you, this is my theory, okay? I have a question also. You see those grotesque images and figures and imaginative creatures that they imagine. I've done shadow work, and I've seen that some of my shadows, the things that are plaguing me, some of my inner traumas, they often manifest in these imaginative characters. Have you seen cartoons like Sesame Street? You have such a,
Yeah.
yes. I've seen times whereby such creatures manifested unto my imagination when I was doing a form of shadow work. And my theory says this is actually where they get all these creatures from.
That is exactly how it works. I am even considering this thing you have just said now. I even want to do a video about it. I have already titled the video The Relationship Between Psychology and Spirituality. It is the same. Yes. What is spiritual? Anything that is spiritual is something that is not physical. When we
Exactly.
say spiritual entities, spiritual problems, anything that is not physical is spiritual, right? What are
Yes,
psychological problems? Psychological problems are not physical problems. So
exactly.
psychology, spirituality are one and the same. I will say
Psychology,
psychology is
spirituality.
a scientific method for scientists to talk about spiritual problems and to solve and analyze spiritual problems. So they are actually one and the same. Okay, imagine somebody that don't have a job, maybe
Yes.
don't have a home, working with somebody and is having problem. Maybe he's living with his parents. They're always giving me a hard time, yelling at him, telling him to get a job. This person is not living well. This person is suffering. This person maybe may not have any happiness in his life, no relationship, no peace. That person naturally, when they go to sleep, they will be restless because they are not comfortable. Their
Yes.
dream will naturally translate to seeing images of demons. Their problems will not transform into ugly, grotesque spirits or demons or people harassing
Exactly.
them in their dream. So it is very, very natural for people that are in problem, people are in hardship, to see demons, to see bad spirits happening to them. It's natural process. Let me give you an example of Nigeria. You come
Yes.
to my country, you see a lot of poor people due to the inability of the government or the failure of the government to provide basic health care, basic housing, basic living standards. So people are suffering. As a result of this, these people become more religious because when they go to sleep after the commotion, the problems they are having in physical world will not translate to spiritual problem. They will see anything, they see witchcraft, superstitious belief that people want to kill them. They are always, yes, your government want to kill you because your government is not providing security for you. Your government is not providing life. So those physical problems will naturally translate to spiritual problems. You're receiving demons torturing you in your dream. And then you'll be running to spiritual people, to native doctors, to pastors to solve
Have you
that problem, and they can't solve that problem. Most times when people come to me, they say they want job or they believe that something problem that somebody want to kill them. First of all, I take my pen. I know the person that most times they don't have a job. If you don't have a job, you will not be happy. So I already know where the demons are coming from. Number one, the person does not have a job. Number two, does not have house to live, is squatting, having problem.
okay?
Number three, the person is cashing hell for maybe a relationship. It's always cashing hell. If you are from a country like Nigeria, I know normally you are also being tortured by demons because we have a very serious problem with our government. So all these physical problems are the demons that is affecting you. So A good spiritualist already know the source of your problem, but we just keep quiet then. If the person still want to add, most of them, they want to add more problem to you. They will tell you that there's somebody that want to kill you, that you have to get a goat within 7 days. Put more problem to you that you now, if not, you are going to die. Then this person that is under stress, under anxiety, we now rush to be looking for money to go and buy goat for imaginary problems to give to somebody else. You see how these things happen? If you are rich, I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone that rich people don't need God. If you are rich, you don't need to pray because most of your problems can be solved by yourself. You sleep comfortably. It is poor people that need God most of the time. If everything is working for you, you are living well, you don't need most times spiritual help because you have been able to solve your spiritual problems with your physical means and capacity. So there's no way you're not going to see any demon in your dream. It's impossible. In fact, the self-confidence in you will make you slap the demon. Once you start seeing those kind of things, you will tell the demon to shut up. Who are you? Do you know me? The demon will shut up. Yes, because you have power, but if you don't have self-confidence, you lack capacity, you lack finance. Any little shadow you see in your dream will start chasing you. Before you know, the shadow will start growing into something. You are living in a house, your landlord is always asking you for rent every day. You are afraid. Any noise, is it the landlord again? Anxiety. You see that kind of so in your dream, you start seeing your landlord beating you like a very big, like Cthulhu. Your landlord return to Cthulhu in your dream. to be striking you every day that you say that Cthulhu is coming after you. It's your landlord that if you pay that rent or somebody pay that rent for you, you will not see Cthulhu the next day. You will sleep peacefully. So you see how physical problems translate to spiritual problems. In the case of Lovecraft, they have the fear of black people. During the era of Lovecraft, Lovecraft was he lived in the area where racism was very, very rampant in America. And Lovecraft was a hardcore racist. If you watch his word, you read his book, he was a hardcore racist. He supported lynching of killing of black people. He hates black people a lot. All his characters, his novel are always black. But you will see this movie, the new series Lovecraft Country. They know that Lovecraft was a racist, so they want to change the racist narrative in a way. They not give the film to the protagonists are not black people. Why white people now become bad guys in the movie? But still, there's a lot of racism in the movie to honor Lovecraft. But all this really happened. We need to keep it in history. It happened. So Lovecraft was a racist, but due to the fact that he lived in a time where racism was popular in America, we should not excuse his behavior. There were also good people at that time, but he chose to be a racist. He was somehow afraid of black people, afraid of everything black. So maybe he has been seeing black people in his dream coming to beat him, coming to take over. So he thinks that one day black people will rise and take over America to destroy their great way of life. The way they say it, their great way of life. So he hated black people so much, and I believe he was seeing the fear of black people. He was seeing that fear in his dreams. So he created all these myths, twisted them, and added black people attached to the myths to say they are bad people. So that is what I see with this kind of things. Physical problems. This physical problem is misguided mentality now translate to something spiritual. And he used his writing to promote his racism. So that is what I see in his personality. He used it to promote racism. So I hope his people will change that. If you watch the series Lovecraft Country, they are trying to change the narrative a bit about the guy, like showing the truth about in a way. But they still manage to, they cannot, he was a racist, they still cannot watch him play. Yes. He could have been somebody better, but he chose to be a racist in his lifetime. During his time, we still have white people that stood for black people. But Lovecraft, out of his fear of everything he does not understand, made him what he was. So, yeah, physical problem translated once again to spiritual problem in the case of Lovecraft. You see how it happens. This is what happens to a lot of people. That's why you go to church. The poorest people are in religion because they are the ones that are always having problems. The rich people use religion for their own benefit. It's poor people that want to go to heaven. Poor people that are disturbing God every day. You see how physical problems translate to spiritual problems? This is how it works.
Exactly. Also, I have another question. Okay, you've obviously done some rituals. Can you at least speak on a few and how they manifested to to try and give them an idea of how magic manifests and how results appear?
Okay. Magic manifests the way to give you the best outcome of what you are looking for. From my
Yes.
experience, maybe you are hell bent on achieving a particular goal. You have put all your energy, all your resources, all your time, all your effort into this goal that I want this to happen. I want it to happen like this. And in the greater scheme of things, that thing that you are wishing for is not part of your destiny. That thing is not for you. And you are thinking that thing is for you. So when you push yourself, you push and you do the ritual, it will naturally not go the way it was. But the spirits, they will give you the next best thing, or they will use that effort they are pushing to put you in what will be good for you. So magic does not really work all the time 100% according to your will. But it
Definitely.
will only work when your will is in direct alignment with that very thing, with that will is in direct alignment with the greater scheme of things in the universe. So when you do some rights, you do everything possible, and it was not supposed to happen. It will not happen, but the next best thing will happen. So when you're doing right, you should be just have that open mind that the best outcome for you. Let it come to pass. So don't be pushing that I want a particular thing. Maybe that particular thing will not be, it's not what you need, but you think you need it. So
Definitely.
you open your mind. If it is for you, most times you will not need to uh, push that. You will not need to exert too much effort on it. You just need to do something little. It will come naturally. I have had this experience many times, many times. So I call it an open door policy. When I
Okay.
am doing rights, I just keep an open door policy. I have been in a situation that I really wanted something. I did everything reasonable possible. It didn't happen. There was no way it could have even happened. Now I'm going back. What I wanted was, it was impossible to happen. But once again, the spirit led me, that just showed me what to do. That this is what you need. You need to go this way. And I went that way, and everything worked. They always move me like that. So sometimes when you're pushing for something, you're struggling, you're fighting against the wind, or you're swimming against the tide, you are not getting it most times. It will naturally mean that maybe that thing is not for you at that very point in time. So you just allow the wave to take you to what is best for you.
Definitely.
So that is the way I see my experience with rights. Not every time you get what you want, but sometimes you can force will that I want this. The universe will give you just to teach you a lesson. By the time you get that very thing, you'll be fighting for it, discover that it is worthless, and it was a total waste of time. So they'll just give you okay, so that you can learn this lesson. There have been times too that I am not planning to do it right. I just say, let me just go into simple meditation. The simple meditation will translate into something else.
Definitely.
That don't
Definitely.
happen. So let me just read some words, just say this. Before you know, end up spending 1 hour, 2 hours there. Then you just surprised that you start saying things or addressing topics or issues that you did not even plan to
Definitely.
do. It happens to me many times as well. Sometimes you go into the right, the next thing, another like a spirit will just come into you and give you information. You don't even talk to that spirit, you don't even know about the spirits. I have had one kind of issue like that recently. I have problem with somebody. Somebody tried to take advantage of my goodwill.
Okay.
Okay. Naturally, I don't go about doing painful spell to avenge people because I'm a spiritualist. Anybody that hurt me, I will go and be doing evil against it. I don't have that time because I have a lot of things to do. So I thought in my mind that I'll forgive this person, I'll let the thing go. So I decided to go into meditation. Immediately I just sitting, like another spirit just came into me and just told me that if you let this go, we are not going to be friends anymore.
Yeah.
Instantly, I was like, this is a spirit that since I made contact with it, We had not even spoken. I never knew that this thing was there, was monitoring. I never knew until this very day that I have issue with somebody that this thing spoke. I was shocked. I said, so you are aware of this issue? I said, okay, I will see what I will do. Instantly, I left the meditation. I took action. I just started, and the action was very, very successful. Wow. So sometimes you might have some spirits that are looking out for you. You think they are not there, but they are there. So different way of having communication, totally different from what people are writing in their books. In my advice to people, if you are working with the spirit, you're working in line with them. They are always with you. Even before you encounter a problem, they already know that you are going to encounter this problem, and this is what will happen, and this is the action you should take. So that's why it's good to always be working with them. So that is the way I work. I work naturally with them. I do my rights. I live with them. They live with me. So I don't really have a issue. I don't really invoke much. If I go into meditation, sometimes things can come true. Okay. Right now, it's like we are kind of aligned in harmony with each other. That is what, well, I've been able to achieve so far.
So I want to clarify something also in terms of spirits, knowing that you would come to them in the future and helping you. I like to say that you shouldn't depend entirely on physical friendships because they are insignificant to a certain degree.
Totally insignificant.
However, you should depend on your spirit, on your spiritual friends, because those friends are the people that made, those are the souls that made pacts with you before you even came here, that you would
exactly.
at a certain stage in your life and they would actually come through. So those are the most reliable that you can be with.
And that is what I've been saying. Especially your spirit that you have a connection with. There are some spirits we're working with now. We may have a past lifetime connection with them, and we don't know. Yes. So we somehow come in contact with them in this lifetime. You're surprised that everything is just working fine. You don't know why. You say, well, okay, just continue working together as far as everything is in harmony. I don't see any problem. For me, I've not really done much of past life regression or investigation, but people have been telling me things about my past life. Okay. For me, the past is the past. I'm interested in what I can be able to do now. Oh, so yes. I'm not really interested in going back to the past. I know that I have reincarnated before. Everybody have reincarnated in this planet before. And what we done there, to remain there, we have something greater to do now. So we should live in the present, not in the past. The past should be just a point of reference, not a place to stay. So when I teach people history, I always remind them, some people will think that we study African spirituality and ancient history because we want to live in the past. I only use them as a reference point. Yes. So we should not live there. We don't live there anymore. So
another thing that I wanted to say, to give the listeners a scenario. Let's say maybe you want money, okay? You're doing a ritual for money. And then you go on, you do the spell. And then you forget about it. You may walk down the street and then you may encounter a note, maybe a $1 bill, maybe a 10 rand note. So that's the way magic manifests. It is so, sometimes it can be underwhelming, sometimes it can be so mundane. So people shouldn't look out for glamorous results or overwhelming results and try to look for something so far-fetched, because that mentality will also lead you to be spiritual prey to other people. You look out to something externally to come and try to lead you. It's a form of shifting responsibility to the external mentor or the external physical thing, because you don't have the self-confidence required to look within you and to see there's answers that are near inside of you. Sometimes they are in front of your eyes.
All right, yes. That is what I call the open door policy. Yes. When you actually do it right, you should be open to ways of multiple ways of manifestation. You should not block yourself out or consider that it's going to come exactly through this means, only one means. You should be open to all windows of possibilities. So because you don't know how this money is going to come, you may be thinking it's going to come through this person. It might come from a total stranger. Who
Yes.
knows? So I encourage people, after they do lots of rides like that, they should be more nicer to people, that should be hardgoing. Try to go out or try to make contact with as lot of people as possible. Yes, so that you can increase your possibilities.
Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Yes.
Also,
I'll go out when I do such kind of things. I naturally go out and meet people, make contact. I make a lot of contact with people, especially through my YouTube channel. People get in touch with me. So that kind of thing, you get to see people and increase your possibilities. Maybe somebody might say, okay, help me to do this or give you a contract, or somebody might need something. You can just give them a simple advice to do this, and they will take the advice, it works, and they will want to show appreciation. And then you get something, not planning to even get something that way. You don't think that this 2 minutes or 3 minutes conversation will bring something, we result to you getting money or something like that. It happens. So that is the way I see with the manifestation things. The way people write it in book, it's not the way it happens in real life. It's not the way it happens.
I think that in their books, it's a form of marketing their books and marketing their.
Yes, sure thing.
Yes.
Magic is not the sure thing. That if you go through this formula, you must get it exactly the way it is. Whatever the spell we do, it will open you to a list of possibilities.
Exactly.
And if you are flowing in the right state of mind, you always hit for the higher number, for the best, how would I say, the best outcome will fall to your favor.
Exactly.
That's why you need to vibrate in a certain level of positivity, the frequency of love, to always attract good things to come to you.
Exactly.
So it will open you up. So what we do when we do this spell, we say, do this, you get this, do this, we get this. What is it that we open you to a list of higher possibilities? Not that you will get it exactly like this. So it's left for the person to rise to meet up. So that you have to rise your consciousness, your self-esteem, your vibration to meet up to that very thing. So there's two meeting points. So if you groom me, you're sad, you're angry, and you want love, and you're full of hate and inferiority complex, you go and do a love spell. The spell will not work. If it will work, and it will also attract somebody that is full of hate, that will bring more hatred and torture and pain to your life. You see that kind of thing,
Exactly.
right? So you need to change your own self to allow what you want to come to you. You need to still work on yourself, not just do the spell, then you lock yourself in your room from morning till night. How will the person come into your room to come and meet you? Except you go online and do aggressive online dating stuff. So there's a way you need to meet halfway with the thing you are doing. In a way, some people will do money spell, but they don't have any credible source of income. They don't even have any skill, but they want to become billionaire. Except they want to do a human being to do money ritual. That's the way it will work for them.
Okay.
So you need to meet the thing in a way.
Okay, now you've said everything that I wanted to say now. Okay. I've had an experience, okay? A love experience. I used to do rituals, and sometimes maybe it's a sex ritual. Sometimes I aim this target, and then my spell often bounces to another target. And comparing those two targets, this one, the one that hit, is of a very low nature, inferior quality nature. And then I get taught lessons by the universe. And sometimes it's so costly, sometimes it makes me angry. Have you had such instances too?
Yeah, sometimes things happen like that. When you do the spell and it opens to a list of possibilities, the universe too may not want too much stress, and maybe you didn't really emphasize what you want. So the easiest possibility will also be drawn to you. That one is bound to the easiest thing for you to get, right? So quite naturally, it will come. So you may need to exert more energy to attract that very thing that you want that to be part of your life in a way. So spell work also works like that as well. There are different levels of spell. There are different levels depending on what you are really. There are also bending of will. If you want to go to some extent, you can even take spells that can take away free will of people. That is a complete mind control. Some people do that as well. It has its benefit, it has its advantage and disadvantage. So it depends on what the person wants to do.
So
Everything have a price. There's a price to pay for everything. Yes. The price to pay for that.
Have you had any experiences with love magic and results?
Yes, I have experience with it. In the early days when I was experimenting with the kind of things. When you apply it, you can get people, or you flow in that vibration. It works to a certain level. You get what you want, but the character of the person is another issue. And if it's something that is within your destiny or sphere of influence, it will come in harmony. But if it is trying to force your way into the situation, you might get an alternate result. For me, my places where there have always been women around, so I don't really have the need for doing that. The country I have lived in, there have always been people around there, so there's no need for actually that. I lived in Thailand for almost 8 years. A lot of women everywhere. You don't need to do spell to get women. Even if you are blind or you're as ugly as a bush, you will see you will still have very beautiful women. No need to do a spell in that kind of. In Nigeria, there's a lot of women too there. You don't need to do spell in some certain place. For me, it depends on people that do spells. It depends on the environment you are living in that will require that kind of thing. If you are living in some kind of environment, you really don't need to do love spell, except maybe you want to tie somebody, to bind somebody to you. Say, okay, I want to bind this person's free will. Maybe you need to do that. But if you maybe looking for women, there are some certain places you go, you don't need to even think about that in a way. Because there are always people there.
Okay, going back to that aspect where you said you have to work up to a point whereby you can meet your magic so that you can get wonderful results. This is a scenario I'd give to the viewers and listeners. Okay, let's say maybe you want to attract a female, okay, and then you've never spoken to a female before, but you want to do a love spell. Chances are you won't get any further good results with it because you haven't spoken to a female.
Yes, definitely will not get it. You need to have it. But one thing I see about spells, I still need to do a video on that as well. You cannot just do a spell on a total stranger, somebody you don't have, you are not even talking with. You are not even communicating with the person. How can it work? It will not work. You need to have a kind of rapport with that person. You need to be close to that person, and that person need to put you in their mind to a certain extent for you to actually say, okay, I want to do the spell on this kind of person. So you need to have some certain contacts. And also too, by putting these spells, what people don't know about love spells in a way, it can look easy, it can look very normal, but you are kind of bending people's will, something that is not supposed to happen. You are trying to make it happen.
Okay.
Some people think that there's nothing to it, but there are also repercussions to it too. You get something in the future, you will also lose something.
Yes.
But people don't think about this. So what you are getting now, maybe this girl, you are not supposed to have a relationship with the girl, but you use girl mind control, you get the girl by all means. Okay. You will lose something in the future for that very thing that you did.
Okay.
Balance it out.
Can you please talk on that? Can you please talk more on that?
What I mean is that there's in the universe, when you go against you violate certain principles, it's like the law of karma, there's a price to pay for doing that. for doing those kind of things, or violating people's free will. You cannot just go about violating people's free will and expect nothing to happen to you. Something must happen to you. I may not know what it is, but that something will be lost in the future of the life of that person that goes about violating people's free will. Naturally, it will happen naturally. It can be anything, anything that the universe feel that is equal to the misconduct that you have done. It will naturally happen in the life of that person. So that is what I know, that for violating people's free will, there's also something that people should consider, that it does not just go two ways. Better you try means, depend on the relationship. You can maybe try to use physical means, you talk to the person. Some people are already predisposed to having relationship, easy relationships. Maybe they just want sex, or people want sex for money, or people just want to have lots of sexual partners.
Yes.
You can do those kind of things, but tying people down, tying their brain, tying their life down to make them comfortable, breaking their relationships, changing them. Maybe somebody's supposed to be doing something else, to tie them down to say, okay, you must follow me for the rest of my life. That is not good.
Okay.
But maybe you want to have a great relationship. It is okay. Many people are open, many men, many women, single men, they are open to sexual relationship with almost anybody that they like. So you don't need to, it's normal, nothing will happen to you. This is what humans came to do. But tying their free will is a serious problem. You change your destiny, it's a big problem. So that is what I see there.
Okay, interesting. Very nice. What do I want to say also? I didn't understand that concept before, but now I can get a clear understanding where you're coming from. I use love magic in the way of trying to have sex with people, trying to strengthen
But
my.
that is okay. It's okay to do that as far as you're not breaking relationships or you're not having sex with people's wife. It is okay. But there are some spirits, so we have some bad spirits, or I will say some spirits that beg to differ. I
Okay.
have met spirits that believe that you can have sex with anybody, even if the woman is married. You will see they get angry. They will choose to help you when they see the life of the man that is married to that woman. Now look at this case. You will see some men, they will marry a woman in house, have children. Then they'll have long string of girlfriends. These men are usually rich. They will say, I married this woman, nobody can sleep with her. But they'll be sleeping with other people's future wife.
Yes.
He's virgining, sleeping, abusing all the young women. Is that a good thing?
No, I don't think it's a good thing.
So there are some spirits that beg to differ. When they come across that kind of man, they say you have been sleeping with people's future wife. They will help somebody to sleep with your own wife.
Oh, yes, yes.
We also feel the pain.
Yes.
Know how it is. So you see some men, you think that, oh, I have a wife, I am married, nobody can touch my wife, but I can sleep with other people's wife. No, there are some spirits that will get people to sleep with your own wife.
Yes.
So that you will know that you are untouchable. So we have some spirits like that that are there, they are not angry, they are, when they see this kind of things happening, they will teach you a lesson and they will make it public so that people will know. Because some men, they do it a lot, especially in Africa. You will marry and then you'll be sleeping with people. The girls, yes, are they not people's future wife? Okay. There are people that will also sleep with your wife so that you will also know that you are doing the same thing.
Definitely.
So, just like hacking, when you hack in somebody's computer, you know that the system you use for hacking you don't need to put an antivirus on it. So when you are doing all these things, just know that yours is always open. So you see people using spell on other people's wives, using spell on young girls, but and you have a wife, you're thinking yours will be safe, right? Reason that kind of thing.
Yes.
Karma goes and karma is a bitch. Somebody will come from nowhere, we do the same thing to you, and you see how it feels. So you need to see where this kind of things go. So we have different kind of spirits that are out here doing things. We can see reason. There's a purpose for everything, a reason for everything. So you have to consider all these possibilities.
So in terms of spiritual manifestations, have you encountered or experienced something that you would classify as scary or something that would have thrown you to madness? Yes.
For madness, I have never seen. What I have seen some scary things. Uh, there was one time me and somebody have an issue. Then the person actually sent a ghost to come and meet me in
Okay.
dream, a live ghost. I
Okay.
was so shocked. I was not expecting that. When I saw that kind of thing, I thought that maybe I will die. I immediately woke up. I was so shocked and sweaty. I said, "Ah, this person actually can do this." But since then, I've not have any kind of thing. That's how I saw those kind of things. Then, if some of my own experience as well, I've seen some kind of funny manifestations. That was when I was starting my journey. You know, when you're starting, you see a lot of things you don't understand, and later you will understand them. So this is what it is. And I saw some things that are kind of incredible that happened to me. So now I'm not scared of those kind of things anymore. I now understand why it was the way it is. So me, I'm not somebody that is easily scared of things like that. So spirituality don't scare me. If you have a fearful heart, you will not practice spirituality. You will not be here. So it's not for the faint-hearted. So I don't easily get scared of stuff. I live for that kind of thing in a
Okay.
way.
Perfect.
So it's very difficult for me to be scared.
So what would you advise a new beginner in spirituality to have a best mindset for getting at least the best results? What would you advise that person?
The best result will be to walk the path naturally. You need to be committed to the path. Uh, Most people you see, they're kind of dabblers.
Okay.
They want to test the water. They want to put one feet inside at a time. Then any little things they run back to church or they run back to wherever they are running to.
Oh,
You
okay.
want to do this stuff, just cross your mind, jump into the pool of primordial darkness. You have to forget about the life you have been living before. You have to sacrifice a lot of things. People that are here, we sacrifice many things in the material world to be here. It is not easy. You're going to sacrifice comfort, you sacrifice material possessions, you sacrifice some things. But at the end of the day, you will get them back. And you get a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom.
Exactly.
So you should just cross your mind that you are ready and whatever it takes, you are going to see to the end. Don't go back. Once you have started, there's actually no going back.
Yes. Yes.
Going back is like death. When you what you want to even go back to Christianity, you cannot even go back again to Christianity because you know that the thing is so bullshit. And
Exactly.
if you are really for this path, you cannot go back to what? It's just like you show somebody a cake and a biscuit or some kind of dirty food, and you're asking the person to choose. You have not seen the difference between spirituality and religion. You choose spirituality, you walk the path, you start by focusing on your ancestors, you do a lot of reading. My advice to new people, you have to know African history. Once you have a foundation knowledge of African history, you have that confidence and the foundation you need to work to grow your spirituality from there.
Yes.
So from that, based on that, you have your knowledge of self and a very high self-esteem. You start working from there. Then you start walking the path. It's just like living your normal life.
Yes.
There's nothing difficult to do. If you live alone, you create an altar. If you cannot create an altar, you become the altar. Then you meditate from time to time and just live in harmony with the environment. That is how it goes. There's no stress, no pressure to say you have to do. You live your life as you walk the path. As you're walking the path, you become the path. It does not end, and we learn every day. So you start from somewhere. You start from the foundation of the historical knowledge, and it takes you to anywhere it will take you. It takes you to your destiny quite naturally. So that's the way it is.
Okay. In your opinion, how would you describe the difference between a dabbler and a practitioner?
A Debla is somebody that just want to get something to solve a particular problem and don't want to fully commit themselves to the path. A dabble is somebody that's messing with magic. Maybe we read a book, he's looking for spell, just want to get girlfriend, get some money. He's only interested in doing this thing to get the results, then go back to living their former life. Don't want to know anything more than that. Don't want to even commit time and energy to the path. Why a devoted, committed person is one that have said that they really want to know everything they can know about spirituality, everything they can know about magic, and have committed and dedicated their life that this is a lifelong thing that they are going to go into the spirit world. They will know as much spirits, as much about life, that's the hidden part of life that there is, and really want to know, make friends with spirits and do spiritual works and really learn spells, not just for knowing sake, but also to be teaching other people and also to improving their life. So these people are like devoted to the path, they walk the path, they live it every day. So that person is fully committed
to the path. Okay, so now I want to talk about another form of manifestation of evocation. Okay, there's what we call channeling. Do you know about channeling?
Yes, I know about it. I do it because channeling is when you totally relax your mind, you drop your consciousness and allow the consciousness of another spirit to come into you with the aim of receiving gnosis as in knowledge or communication with that other entity. So that is the way I get contact with most of my works. I relax myself and allow the deity to come into me. Allow the spirit to come. That is how I do my meditation.
Perfect. So in terms of your meditation, have you had instances whereby you started talking in a different voice and you almost experienced a form of possession?
Yes, I have done that. That has happened to me. It's normal when you go into some deep meditation, before you know, your voice might change. Your even eyes, you will see all this, not that physically, but spiritually, we notice that something has come over you.
Okay.
Spiritually, something has transformed you into another thing. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. As you are doing it, you just be seeing yourself in another way. You see your hands will start changing, you notice that something has come over you, just flow with the current like that.
Okay.
You just notice naturally. There are some things we just drop, like the knowledge we just drop into you about certain things. Just like that.
Because now I have a guy that I was watching when I was beginning out in the path. His name is Joe March. He has a evocation video whereby he was channeling Tiamat. And now looking back to that video, I think there's a form of exaggeration because his tone changes into that tone that they use in cinemas when speaking to spirit. I summon thee, you know, that type of cinematic. Does it happen in that way when you are channeling?
No. So most of this video magic you see, most of these magicians doing, the way I see it, most times just for entertainment. They just want to entertain people, so they need to make it dramatic, like movie. When you're channeling something, you just sit and relax. Everything happens inside. So for them to be actually dramatized, if I sit here, so I channel something now, people watching, they will not even know. I'll be sitting still, having inner communication, so it will not be fun to the people watching.
Exactly.
It is not fun when I sit for somebody sit for 2 hours without making noise. How will you know they are doing? I just watched it for 2 hours, wasted 2 hours of my life watching you. Is that fun? It's not going to sell. But when the person is being dramatic, you know the way Hollywood now, people will be watching you. Oh, this is how it goes. People will have a lot of viewers. So for me, it's just entertainment stuff they are doing. Real stuff doesn't happen like that. But maybe the person just want to dramatize and put fear into people, and especially new people. Most of these guys, their target is for new people to spirituality. People like us that are old school, we know the trick, the hook and the crook. Exactly. But newcomers think that guy is a master channeler that knows nothing, and then that is how they get you. If you believe them, they will know that you you are a new person, you are a novice, for you to believe that you are a novice and then they get money from you. It's a way to of knowing people you can easily scam. Because people that will appeal to you are people that knows nothing. So the real people, we know that you are just bullshitting. So anybody that comes to you, they are candidates. So you start telling them bogus tales to blow their mind, and you get money from them. It's a way of actually knowing people that will be ideal candidates or scamming them. Because only those stupid people will respond to you. Real people knows that people do channeling. It is a boring thing. Everything in the communication happens internally.
Exactly.
So for me to be dramatizing that the thing is here, is telling me it's trying to scare, design a scary environment, it's all for effects, special effects for people to entertain. So it's entertainment purposes, please.
Also, what I wanted to say to the listeners, when you are channeling, sometimes it may seem like you are making things out of your mind, but here's further proof to prove that you are actually doing something. In channeling, sometimes you might actually come across answers whereby you have something sent to you, a message.
Yes.
You the way it's arranged, the words, you wouldn't arrange it in that way if it were your mind or you doing the pretending.
Exactly.
Yes.
What happens to me is that you will just know when you know you get this message and it's not your own thought.
Exactly.
Something that you are not thinking about just dropped into your minds. That is
Yes.
how I know. Because most time I'm thinking about something, then you just have another message, like another voice just dropping. You know
Yes.
that this is the message. You're not thinking about this. Like that when I told you that when that spirit spoke to me, I was not expecting it. My mind was totally somewhere else. All of a sudden, I just hear that if you let this slide, we are not going to be friends anymore. Instantly, I just see the spirit. I was shocked. This is somebody I've not spoken to. Wow. That is how it happens. You just drop in to you. Sometimes we can also channel to with cards when I do like divination.
Yes.
So you want to check card, want to check a particular situation. As you as you just open the card will just show you directly what will happen. Straight like that. You just see it. It's another good way of channeling by divination as well. You're asking the spirit something you want to confirm. You throw the cards, the cards will just give you the answer. You just also know from there that
Yes.
way again. So that is how it works for me. So that's why meditation, you see these beats, I use them a lot.
Okay.
To get you in that state of mind. And I meditate. When you meditate, you relax the mind and things just coming like that. So very good method.
So in channeling with you and communicating with spirit, is it similar to my experience in this way? Is it this way? Sometimes when I channel, I sometimes hear the voice. Obviously, it sounds like my voice, but then
Exactly.
it comes in a different wording. Is it like that with you, or is it with? Is it in this way similar to what the Europeans are portraying? Like, let's say maybe you're thinking of a demon, and then that demon comes. Hello, my son. Is it that way, or is it in
No,
your?
no, no, nothing like that. Oh, nothing like that. All those are drama. What happened is that I just get a sentence of what to do. It is not even long. They just get tell you. It's not even up to 2 minutes. They just tell me what to do. Most times I'm anxious about a particular situation or they just want to tell me something. They just tell you the thing and they go. This my own experience, they don't waste time with you. It's like they don't like being here. or whatever. They don't like talking to, they don't like being here that we're having a conversation, a long one load conversation. It is not more than 2 lines. Sometimes you just get that's the way I get it. Not more than 2 lines. They just tell you do this, go this place, or change this thing. They just tell you what to do instantly. Then they go. So and it comes very fast. Usually, I get these messages within the first 5 minutes of me going into meditation.
Okay.
I get it very fast, 5, 10 minutes. I already get a message. All the other time, I'm just there doing my own exercise. They
So
don't waste time. So for people that say they waste time there 2-3 hours, maybe they might work 2-3 hours time, but mine is faster.
It's fast, yes.
That is my own experience with the thing.
So in terms of spiritual, have you had something sent to you, maybe a message, a form of intuitive message sent to you by your higher self, and you were like, your lower self obviously, was it like, ah man, shut up, and then later on come to find out that message was actually true? Have you had such experiences?
Yes, that has happened to me a lot. I have been getting message that they tell me to do this thing, I will refuse to do it, and then I will see the result or the repercussion of what of the message. I have situation that I checked something. I want to do a business deal with somebody. I actually checked it, told me that it's not going to work, but I still go ahead, and the thing it didn't work exactly the way it was predicted. So exactly like that. I have had cases like that, that this will happen. Sometimes you will get result of something that I don't want to hear, but I will still go ahead to do the opposite. Don't do something, I'll get the message. I will still go and do the thing because I really want that thing to happen. And then the whole thing will crumble. And I will just know that they really said this thing that I should not take this decision. But out of stubbornness, I still take the decision just to see what happened. And then you're going to reap the consequences of that bad action that you have taken, that bad decision. So it happens. What will happen, irrespective of if somebody warn you or give you a forewarning. Most times, human beings will still do what they want to do. It happens to what they want to do. So it's normal part of life. If a person is telling you, don't do this, don't do, you will still go and do the thing just to test it.
Yes.
So this happens.
I also have a question. Why do spiritual messages irritate the lower self so much? Like they would give you a warning, and then instead of taking that warning into heed or listening to it, you would actually be angry at that message, and then you would be like, ah man, leave me out. Why?
We are human beings, we follow our own way. We do that a lot. Just to give us experience in life. It's part of the learning process. For most humans, if something don't happen to them, they will not be wise. So things need to happen to them. You see people, you tell them, don't drink, don't smoke, they will still drink, they will still smoke. You see some people, you see somebody going out with a person that is totally toxic and not good for them. You tell them, don't date this person, they will still date the person, and then they will see the repercussion. People, we all do all these things. You tell them, don't do this thing, the person will still do the thing, and then they will learn from the mistake. Normally, when things want to happen, some kind of serious things happen to people, in a way, you always get warning. The spirits, your guardian angels or spirit, they will send a way to warn you in a way to pass the message to you. So it's left for you to hear, to listen to them. Most times, some people will listen, some people will not listen. But they will try to make sure that you get the message of what will happen. And they will try their best to help you for something that you have been trying to really, really get. They will find a way to bring people to you to give you that thing. So when you see it, is for you to take that opportunity and see where it leads. It might not be where you will just be there, do your best. Then maybe from there you will now be taken to another point where you will get to what you are looking for. So that is how this works. So that is just to follow the prompting. So what I do now, I try to pay attention and I try to react less and to observe more.
Okay,
so
perfect.
That is the way I work with them. We learn every day as we grow. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is above mistake. We are all here to learn. No matter how you go, you still fall into, and sometimes it will be due to you wanting to help somebody you are not supposed to help. You're going to get into a situation, and you will learn from that experience as well. Life goes on.
Okay, perfect. So I've checked the time now. I think it's time for me to go out. So in conclusion, what would you say to the listeners? Yes.
Okay. For listeners that are listening to us, we thank them for having the time. And those people that are interested in African spirituality, we encourage them to fully commit to the paths there should not be dabblers. The path is a very, very good path. It's a path of wisdom. It has its own advantage and disadvantage, but the benefit is much more than the little discomforts that you are going to get. I will encourage them to continue and to study their history if they really want to be strong, to have a good foundational history of Africa, of what have happened to us in the past, and they can be able to walk from there to their way to becoming advanced spiritualists. And most of the time, what we do here is psychological work. Psychology and spirituality is the one and the same thing. So most of the spells we do, most of the changes we do is from the mind. So if they can get their mind right with the right knowledge, they can be able to do anything that any advanced spiritualist can be able to do. They can be able to develop from them. And I will appeal to them, thank them for their time, and they should keep doing the good work they are doing, trying to live in harmony with the planets. And I still remain myself from my humble self in the West. And if they want to reach me, I have the channel Afro Scientific Spirituality, where I teach ancient African spirituality and history on YouTube. And that's just me.
Okay, thank you. Have you had any experiences with spiritual warfare?
Spiritual workings.
Warfare.
I have lots of experience. I have lots of them.
That
I
would
do a
be
lot of spiritual work, but what I have come to see is that due to my lifestyle now, I encourage people to do their own spiritual work, because if you keep on doing spiritual work for people, they will never learn anything and they will never grow. And I don't really have that time. I don't have to be bothered by problems of people too much. I don't have that time. I don't think people can pay me enough for that. So my time is my time. So I have a lot of spells that I have done. I'll teach people how to do on the channel. I've done a lot of spells. So if you want to learn, people can go on my channel. They will see real life spells they can actually practice with easy items they can get from the market or from their kitchen and do it themselves. The more they do, the more they increase their experience, increase their capacity. So I encourage people to do spells by themselves. So I don't do work for people anymore, except very serious occasion. So that is me for you.
okay. Thank you for your answer. But what I wanted to ask you is, have you ever been with people spiritually?
If I can do, I didn't hear that question, please. Can you say that again?
Have you had encounters where you fought with people spiritually?
Yes, yes, I encounter that a lot, many times in the dream. I do a lot of fighting in the dream. Uh, I am the last ones I experienced where some boys, these are some boys from Nigeria. They came to fight me in the dream.
Okay.
We sort of these are scam. They were using my videos to scam people, so I was engaging them online, trying to call them out. They actually came in the dream to come and fight me. Serious fight. They came with guns and everything, tried to come and attack me. We fought, and I woke up that day with very serious headache, and it was over. They didn't come anymore. But
Okay.
they was serious fights. But after that, they did come. I believe that they could not do anything more than they have done. They have done their worst.
Definitely.
So, fight some people in dreams sometimes. Seeing people saying different things, snakes, animals, and stuff. It is very normal for people to fight in the dream. Sometimes you fight, you wake up, you see scratch on your body, physical scratch or marks, those kind of things. It's funny, but it happens.
Yes.
To fight in dream, something will be affected in your physical life. That fight I had with those boys, it actually delayed the contract of some money I was supposed to get for almost 3 weeks. It was delayed. I know it was due to attack, but the money eventually came. So when you get this kind of fights like that, it can affect something in the physical world that is supposed to come to you.
Okay.
Wait,
This is beautiful. Our next discussion will be more about spiritual battles. I want to have a next discussion talking about that with you. Okay.
no problem. Yeah, I have some experience on that regard as well.
Okay, thank
The
you.
spiritual was fought on the spiritual plane.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a very good topic for discussion. So I think we should do that next week.
Perfect. So
Okay.
everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. This is Arsonist Fire on the way of Dharma. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please go to FS channel to check out the content that he uploads. If you want to learn more about having visions, channeling, African spirituality, that's the best place to go. The most legit place to go, and not those other guys out there. So yes.
Really good.
Thank you, my brother. I'll see you again next week.
Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Take
Namaste.
care.
Take care.
Bye. Okay.